Hey friends, tuning in for no, not Ethereum, Tezos. Yeah, we stamp on the face of Ethereum. In fact, let's just dive on over here to the Ethereum price action-y points here and look at what we have on the go. Well, we had, if you remember ages ago, God. Yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff, and it looks to me like we've more or less, in terms of and I would have to look back and see, but I think that we came in around about our support line here on the on this face, and we're moving towards the top side against Ethereum over the period of the last handful of 4-hour periods here. Made it up towards the basis line. Can we make it above the 50? Will we retain it above the 21 EMA? Certainly looks good at the minute. I would say that things are okay, having come in close for a cross on 21 over the 55, but not actually managed to achieve it there on the 4-hour time frame. On the 24-hour time frame, you can see that if we were to move down below this area, you could almost consider this to be like a head and shoulders type top type thing. If you were to look at it on a smaller time frame. One of these ones, you could fit it in there, I'm sure. Yeah, here we go with this one. So you could almost be looking at that. That means we're not out of the woods yet. Do the bears shit in the woods? Yes, they do. We're in the woods. Look out for bear shit. There you go. Tip for you. Takeaway tip number 1. So if this turns out to be the right-hand shoulder of a head and shoulders, then we'll know all about it. That's the Tezos versus Ethereum one. I feel I've done my penance now for having accidentally called this the wrong coinage name at the front of the episode. So looking at these things, we always talk about the measured move and say how the textbooks do it like that. They do it with a half the size, and that the sort of YouTube land takes it down here. Now, I do be disparaging on these things, but I always do as well say, of course, it could go down there. That's it. It's just if you're going to play it like the textbook in the way that works out to be like the most the best balance of risk and reward tends to be. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't even know any financial advisors. So don't take this as financial advice. But what we normally like to do on the channel really is talk about how this is where you'd be looking to in terms of a turnaround. If you wanted to be bullish about it at that point there at 3,128, sure, you could have been, and that's fine. But we also know that, of course, we had this other target down here anyway, as identified by this line over here. If we keep scrolling, which is the 382, where we've come down to past the 50%. Now, if I were to draw out various things about this, then we would get other Fibonacci's on there, and I know that. And I know there's so much noise on here. Oh my god! Oh my god! The shame! Haram! The shame! There's too much noise on there. I'm gonna have to clean it up. But yeah, anyway, well, we've done the whole YouTube-y style symmetrical triangle breakout on this one down towards the lower side. Great, well done. We've done that. What's that coming around at? Well, maybe still the chat from before means we've had a chance for the oscillators to reset. As we see the stochastics moving up above the 50, as we see actually over here, we've started. When the DMI started to kind of slope upward towards the top side as the DM negative sloping down towards the bottom side, and we got then across there in the last sort of about what maybe somewhere between 8 and 12 hours ago, and then it's moved, or about 8 hours ago, and now we've got this adjustment towards the oscillators there coming up above the neutral line over here. Yes, I know there's too much noise. I know there is. I should clean it up. I should stop saying during the episodes that I should clean things up, and instead I should just damn well do it, shouldn't I? Yes. Click like if you think I should clean it up. Click like if you think I shouldn't. Just make sure you click like. What's that? Somebody's texting me. All right, okay, cool, don't worry about it. I'll get into that after. So anyway, looking towards this other green line that we have here, which is the green grass of home, is the shout out to Rosa, I suppose, who lives over there in Ireland, and I'm in Scotland, so we've got the two different colours of grass that we've been chatting about on here, and of course that's still up for dispute. We've not had the peer review on that one, but if we're going to go up towards Irish grass here at the top end of this golden pocket zone, then we're going to need to see the prices do more than simply wick up and touch off the Scottish grass area here, the slightly more blue 618 territory. So if we do go up towards that area, then turn around again, sure, that's not going to be much of a surprise. Is it? Surely not. I would think not, given our recent history with these things. Just bearing in mind again, of course, this could be a head and shoulders. If this is a left shoulder, that's a head, and this is a right shoulder. Should we manage to come up towards these areas here and then just end up saying sinking back down again. There's various other things to be looking at as well, of course, really, the 618, but of course the horizontal here, just in this area. If this was a nice clean chart, like say this, not this one, but what this is actually, relatively speaking, this is about as clean as it gets when you've got all the moving averages and everything else on. Just in this general area here, where you'd have the this clear sort of came up, found it as profit taken or resistance yet again. Then we came up here during all that profit taken, busted past it, and then we found it come down here and operate as profit taken or indeed support, depending on how you want to look at that. Came up here, looked at profit taken, looked like the profits were being taken a bit too much of. We came back up and we used it as profit taken again, but it turned out, flipping from support to resistance here in about this time, kind of at the end, what it shook out as being resistance, and then we're back up here, and yet again it is a profit taking line. So that's what we're looking at really on this one. I'm not really going to get too deep into it. I would like to point out that the Discord has got some fantastic Tezosians in there, and yeah, you can go ahead and join that and have a chat with them. By the way, I will keep looking at the charts in a second here, just wrapping up, but I wanted to say that Americans are pronouncing this thing Tezos, right? Tezos, Tayzos, Tezos, and I pronounce it Tezos, and I'm sure people out there find that a little bit irritating to their old earballs there whenever I say it, if they're of course of the Tezos variety, and that is just something we're going to have to live with. I watched an interview there the other day with your man Brightman, who's a very bright man, who did who made this thing, and he's a Frenchophile. A French fry surrender monkey, as they're known here in the United Kingdom, because everyone here is a big old racist, and that's what we like to do. We like to slag off the French. It's never going to go out of fashion when every other type of racism does. The people in the Great Britain will cling on to that one for life or death. So anyway, but of course, me as a Scotsman, I don't feel that way because of the Old Alliance. That's right, France, I got your back. So he says Tezos. There you go, eh? So what are you going to do? I decided to just not care about the way that I pronounce it and continue to pronounce it Tezos, because if your man Brightman, who is a very bright man, calls it that, I hope I've got his name right, then, well... So, yeah, if this could turn out to be a head and shoulders, sure it could. So let's just look around this area of inflection, see if we can get above it. We really do need to see the prices go up above that 317 and 327 area for us to continue to move towards the top side. Where have we felt this sort of similar story before? Well, of course, plenty of previous times, like when we were talking about the 270s areas, or we were talking about the $3 area and stuff like that, So it's just more of the same, more hard work. But if it turns out to be head and shoulders, then it turns out to be head and shoulders. You could be looking at things like if this was the previous high on the downward trend, and this high has come up. No, this high here is the previous high, and this high here, yeah, it's come up higher than this previous high. You could say then you're looking at hidden bearish divergence. If this was to be the sort of the right hand side, the right shoulder, the right hand side of the head going from the clavicle to javicle, then you'd be talking about that there as being potentially head and shoulders, should become past the event horizon, which we can do at the minute. Let's just wrap it up with this line here and say 270s for that one. And if you go into the Discord, you'll find people talking about that, of course, because we've been talking about this sort of jazz as we always do, forever and ever and ever, in a world without end. Thanks very much for joining in. I really do appreciate you tuning in. And if you want to click that subscribe button and hit that join button, or I don't have a join button yet, you need 30,000 subscribers. If you want to hit that subscribe button so that I know to keep on making these videos and eventually get to the point where you can hit a join button, because there's only so many, you want to hit those buttons, right? Then do it. And yeah, let me know how you're getting on with your stinking face. This is my stinking face. It's doing okay. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next episode. I've been Rocky Outcrop. Rocky. Well, there is a website there, but ignore that. youtube.com/RockyOutcrop, because that's where the videos are. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll catch you next time, and yeah, see ya.